Welcome everyone to episode number 108 of CoCreative NoCode's office hours. I'm your host, Tonya, and we're here with members Thomas and Brittany, and also my Kim. And we're going to get started in a moment with a question from Brittany. But before we do, if this is your first time tuning into CoCreative NoCode's office hours, we do this every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And what office hours is we allow our members to come on each of the Zoom sessions. So we do it 5 days a week. And they can ask us any question they want about Bubble. So they can bring us a bug, they can bring us a feature request, they can bring us a topic related to Bubble. Anything Bubble related is welcome, and we will talk about it. And we don't promise answers. We promise that you won't suffer alone though. So if you're tired of like banging your head against the keyboard while you're trying to get Bubble to work for you, come and join us. We can help with the headache. If you would like to join us for a complimentary session to see what office hours is all about and to ask a few questions, you can go ahead and comment on the live video playing on Facebook if you happen to be watching right now, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube, you can go ahead and comment there as well. We'll get you credentials so you can come on for a complimentary session and see if you like it. I do want to make an announcement on Friday of this week at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We have Cameron Wilder Booth joining us, and he's going to talk all about his experience getting to know the API connector plugin for Bubble and how he's using it to interact with various APIs, specifically the Google API. I say the Google API, but there's about 1 billion of them. So if you have any API questions, come on Friday. He'll do his presentation and then he'll be accepting questions at the end. And then again, no, we don't promise answers. We promise you won't suffer alone. Awesome. Let's go ahead and get started. Brittany, you said you have something for us today?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing so you can share.
Okay. Okay, so can you guys see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I've been trying to connect payment processing through Stripe.
Yes.
And it's a bit confusing.
It is.
So at first I found a video that was saying that the seller would need to have a Stripe account themselves. So what I was going to do was have them connect their Stripe account to the app.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I am right now. I'm trying to, connect all of the APIs and everything. So I actually bought I didn't want to use the free Stripe one because it doesn't connect.
It doesn't do
3
Express.
different ways. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and purchased the Express plan, and I have all of my keys here.
Don't show your keys.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
But I have my keys already in. I don't know where to go from here because I tried to connect. This is on a separate page. I was doing it again because it didn't work. So I'm going to show you what happened when I was trying to make it go to the Stripe, and see, this is the message that I'm getting. So,
you know what? I figured this one out last week when I was trying to figure it out for you before. Go back to, go ahead and show your keys. I'll show you how to change them because you've already shown them. So we'll have to change them anyway.
Okay.
So go ahead and go into into your plugins. Okay. And then scroll down and see there's a space there between the client ID at the beginning. There's a space. Remove that space. Wow. Stripe needs to fix that. I don't know why they let that even happen.
What is really going on here?
I know I erase it. There you go.
Okay.
Now try it again.
Okay.
Oh, that space is so frustrating. I lost an hour to it for the second time because I've done that before.
That's crazy. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, address and all. I didn't realize all of that was going to show.
I know. I do the same thing all the time. Everybody knows where I live now.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if you want to just try it, like just go ahead and make sure it's working. You can click the button at the top of that page. You can stop sharing if you want.
Okay.
You can stop sharing and then just click the button that says use test account and then see what happens after. Because I was running into a bug after that was driving me nuts, but that was using the regular Stripe plugin. So I'm curious.
Okay, so now it's not even showing. So when it says it's in test mode, so how do I?
Yep, it is in test mode, which it should be.
Okay.
And then there's a button there that says use like test credentials or something.
I'm gonna start sharing because
yeah, gotcha. No, I don't mind. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so skip this form. Sorry, that's the one you want. So
is it gonna show information? Okay.
I
was trying to stop sharing because
you're like, oh, what's it gonna show? What is it gonna show? Yeah. No, so we're
okay.
Kim, I guess we need to like accelerate our plans to have you do video editing because we could just edit out those sections.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. And I had it to where it would show the information here.
Yep, that's great. That's perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's only the first portion of it because I still have to integrate the payment system or whatever. But we can, if somebody else has a question now.
Nope. Thomas said he didn't. Thomas, has that changed? He's probably doing something away from the.
You got it.
No, we're good. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
So I have to remember that I need to change my codes here.
Yeah, your API keys. It's funny, like one of the things I do is I won't even copy in my live keys until I'm ready to launch. Right. And it doesn't really matter if you share your test keys. I mean, somebody, I guess, could try to run calls to your test account and mess up your testing. But if that happens, you can just start over with a different key. So.
Alrighty, so now, so first of all, I think I put the wrong, so I'm confused as who would be a seller. So the freelancer will probably be a seller because they will be receiving the payment from the business owner, correct?
That's right.
Okay, so I have it set up wrong, but that's fine. I can just do that really quick. Well, later on, I just need to move on to the next step. So I don't know where to go from here, from having them connect the Stripe account. How do I get
let me
flowing?
So I'll share my screen, and what I'll do is I've never worked with this particular plugin before. So, but it seems to be working better than the regular Stripe plugin for this. So let me install it real quick and we'll just practice with it.
Okay.
So we'll do some Stripe stuff. Yeah, I hadn't seen that one before. I wonder if it's new compared to like the Copilot plugin, JS plugin, which I don't like. I struggled actually. Andrew Potroff is messaging me at the moment. And he was using that plugin like at the beginning of this year. And I was just like, whoa, I wasn't a fan. So let's see, Stripe. So yeah, this is the Copilot one. This is the regular one. We're looking for one that says Express at the end. This one. Ooh, that's a steep price.
Yeah.
Better be worth it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Confirm. Got it. Right. So I've got plenty of stuff here. I know I have. I'm going to stop sharing in case I'm logged into the wrong one because I have some client accounts. Yep, glad I did that.
I'm thinking I'm going to change my.
Oh, yay. My client's making money. That makes me happy. I love it when that happens. All right, let's do September sandbox. Okay, I'll share again. Okay, so this is my publishable key, but this is live, so I want my test keys. So come in here, my dev publishable key, and then here, my dev secret key. And then my client ID. Now this is really tricky. I've shown this a couple times on office hours in the last week because I was really kind of like frustrated with it. To get to this, this key here that you need here, the client ID for dev, you found it. I'm just doing this for people who might be frustrated with the new layout of Stripe. See here, it's like add business details to activate your account. And you're like, well, you want to get down to like here, like to get other stuff, and it looks locked. Just go to create, review your express settings, and then click connect. Then you're in the regular interface again, and you can come down here and you can grab your client ID.
I wish I knew that.
Oh, sorry, I put it on office hours for you, I guess.
Yeah,
no, you can always you can always inbox me. Don't worry about that. You can inbox me to find it. Okay, so that's my client ID dev. So I've got that set up. Now I need to finish setting this up because this one doesn't have needs OAuth for Express activated. And then I need to specify a URI. And this is where I was struggling before. Actually, can you get to the screen for yourself, Brittany, and tell me what you have? Because it looked like it was working for you.
Yeah, I input, I just basically went to the preview mode and copied and pasted. And I took the, hold on, let me. Is this a test mode? Yes. Okay. I'm on the test mode now and I can show.
Do you want me to stop sharing?
Sure. Do you want to see what I have on the
I just want to see which URIs you put in there.
Okay.
Make sure I get them right.
Is the test mode one.
Oh, and you put even the debug. I don't think you need the debug part there. Okay. Yeah, that looks like what I was going to do, but then there's also, let's see. Okay, I'll share again.
Okay.
We'll see if it works. So bubble, what is it? Bubble what?
Hold on a second. It's bubbleapps.io.
Version bubbleapps.io. Version test and then Stripe stuff. I'm gonna add that and see if it works. There's also one that I've done before. It's like this one. So we'll just put both of those in there. Okay, so now this should be working, hopefully. So I'm going to come in here into the design. I'm going to create a button. It's going to say register to sell. start the workflow. Assuming I'm going to have to come into plugins and not payments, because payments would have to do with the regular Stripe one that I have installed. So plugins, Connect Express, standard account. Is this the call you use?
Yeah.
Okay.
I almost forgot.
Express.
And see, I left that as standard. I don't know if that makes a difference.
It does.
Okay.
It does. So if you are planning to hold the funds back from the seller until after the work is complete, and kind of like it's not technically an escrow. Escrow carries legal implications and meanings in at least in the US. But if you want to hold back the funds until the client expresses that they're satisfied with the work, then you would need an express integration instead. And then there's a slew of different things you can do with express that you can't do with standard, but the main one is holding those funds back, and it involves setting the payment terms of the Connect account to be something specific. And I have a headache today, so I'm having a hard time remembering my words, but it's called something in particular. And Calum's joining us. Yay. It's called something in particular, like you have to turn the payouts to be manual, I think.
Okay.
And in order to get that working. Hey, Calum.
What up?
We've missed you.
I've missed you guys too.
Welcome. We're just talking about Stripe Express versus standard for Connect accounts. So we're going to go with business type, go with individual for now. Action type, register. Scope, we'll leave alone. Redirect, we're going to say this URL. Capabilities, I have no idea what it's talking about. Transfer card, make sure to verify your Stripe account to have capabilities enabled. I don't know what they're talking about. User email will be current user's email. Open a new tab. I don't know if that part's important, if it's redirecting. API keys are already entered. So does this look similar to yours?
I actually didn't fill out any of that. It's
and it was working.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. Love it. Let's see here. So I'm going to go back to run as is working again. So that's good because it was broken for a couple days there and that was really annoying. So I'm going to go run as this user. And then where were you storing the account stuff?
ID and the ID information and let's see, hold on. The Stripe code in there, Stripe ID. That's what you had. I honestly just have it stored under a on the actual edit profile page. Like I don't have it necessarily saving it in the database or anything.
Okay, so it's so the plugin is storing it for you then.
Right.
Got it. Okay, that's fine. I bet you anything it won't work because what? That's not right. That wasn't the error I was anticipating. Let's go back. Yep, look at that space. Silly. So silly. Oh. All right. So here, test mode, test phone number, test code. Not a real person. Where am I?
Mhm.
This is my website. Just test account. Yep. All right, so now I should be registered as a seller. So let me go back on this page and here, let's do a text and we want the current user's Stripe stuff. So where are you getting that from?
So what I did was, let me go back here.
Calum, did you bring something for us today?
New, fixed quite a lot of stuff while I've been gone. Managed to get my entire news section working. Got a load of other stuff working. Yeah, I know. I'm just came on to say hi and see you guys again.
Awesome.
Okay, so actually I just got the code from the page URL. So
Oh, so when it redirects back here, you
Right.
just, yeah, got it. Okay, cool. So that's
and then
the
for the ID,
code. And then for the ID, you got what?
I use the current sellers. I made it in the database a seller ID. I did
Mhm.
save that. So I just pulled the current user seller ID from that.
From this code here.
Well, I'm saying yeah, but so let's see if it works. So under the user in the database, I made a field called sellers ID,
Mhm.
and then it was just text.
Yep. And then you stored it as
From
that
there.
code from the URL or you
Mhm.
ran a call to get it?
So I wish I could show you. So I got the parameters from the URL page, and I found out that the name from Stripe, the parameter name from Stripe is just code. So I don't know if do you want me to share? Because I don't know if I can. So what I did was I just went and got the code from the URL page, but then the parameter name for Stripe's code is just code. So I
Yep.
just typed that in, and then for the Stripe ID, I just got the current user's seller ID that we made in the database, and it pulled it all from there.
Current user's seller ID, which was a field you made in the database. But how did that seller ID get put into that field?
Let me see something. Hold on. Then connect right here. Current user.
Okay, create ID number token. Okay, got it. Okay, cool. So show me the workflow. Move the box out of the way.
Sorry.
So button connect is clicked. Create ID number token Stripe.
Oh, with the token. So you have one. I almost forgot. So this is the token. It's not really, you can't see it, but you have to add it. You just click it and drop it here. It has
Got
to
it.
be on the page before you can connect it. I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
Got it. No worries. Let me go back to the page. I'll share again.
Okay. I'm trying to, oh, there we go.
So Kim, for this one, we're exploring Zero Code's Stripe Express plugin.
All right, thank you.
Go and in the workflow here.
What was it? I can't. I literally just did this, so.
Okay. I mean, you're doing a great job. You've
Um,
managed to collect the information you need to collect. So
Yeah, so always just create ID, and I think once you type in it, yeah, I put in current user's unique ID. That's all I did.
okay, and then this goes here, and
Yeah.
then is this the next step, or is
Yeah,
it something
it's only
different?
2. Yeah, that's the next step.
2 steps. Okay, got it. All right, and then so what I need to do, let me go make a new user. All right, so I still just have this, but I can do. How are you saving it to the database? I guess you have another workflow happening.
Let me see. Here, it's like my thingy won't let me. Oh, so when the page is loaded, so
Mhm.
say if they, but only when they come back from getting the URL.
Got
Oh.
it. So we'll do when condition is true, and the condition will be the get data from page URL code is not empty. And then we're going to make changes to a thing. Current user, Stripe seller ID equals.
Well, I think, what did I do? Hold on. I think I'm confusing myself now.
Card token bank status error. Line IP created.
So when I did the make a changes to a thing, I did it as what did I do? Oh, the first step was once the page is loaded, you want to do the Stripe marketplace instead of make the changes will be the second step. So the first step is to complete an express standard account connection. So if you type in, hold on, let me show you, because you may understand more if I have. So this would be the first. So say page is loaded, it's empty here. So what I did was from elements.
Got it, from elements. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So element actions.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
Alexa, shut up. She's just gonna repeat herself. I'm gonna have to throw this thing out of the window.
I'll let you share again. Oh, that's how I was doing it.
No, but the Stripe Marketplace Complete Express Standard Account Connection, that's the part that I'm having trouble. So I guess here from elements.
It's Stripe marketplace. Is that what? Complete express. No, that's not right. Hold on. I'm so confused myself now. Wait a minute.
It's okay. Did you get this from the documentation from Zero Code?
Well, the documentation from Zero Code is like really, really confusing because they have a whole bunch of stuff on there. But I was watching a video on YouTube that kind of helped me along with this.
Sure.
This, I'm not exactly sure. I cannot remember. It's the same place I think that I got this information from.
It's okay. Go back to where page is loaded again. It says complete express standard account connection. And this is on a page load. So hang on just a second. Let me see if I can replicate it. You stay right where you are.
Okay.
Let me say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just typed it. I don't even know where it is in here in that.
Yeah,
in
I
the
typed it as
actions.
well. I have no
but-
clue where it is.
Did
Did it
not
come
in
up?
payouts? It's yeah, it did come up. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's in plugins.
Okay.
It's got to be. Okay, I'll share again.
Okay.
Show you where I found it. So it's in here. It's in plugins, and we're
Okay.
looking for Stripe Marketplace complete.
Yeah.
This one,
Mm-hmm.
Express Standard.
Okay.
And then we want to make this one here. Ones.
You hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, but barely.
Been able to hear me for like, okay, never mind.
Oh, we weren't listening. We weren't hearing you.
I was on the phone. So I was like, oh, damn. I'm like interrupting.
And is it this one, the Stripe user ID?
Yes. Wait, I'm responding and I'm not checking, but I really think that's it.
I think that should be it.
What I did was get code from page URL. Am I tripping?
No, we did that. So
Oh.
get code from page URL. So when the
Right.
code,
Yeah, that's
when
right.
it's not empty, then we're gonna do this part.
Mhm.
And then do I need to enter something here? Get data. Yeah, got
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was talking about. Right.
Get here and we'll get the code. All right. And
And
then
then it is the Stripe
here,
ID.
we'll
Yeah,
save
that's
that. Okay, cool. So now we'll save that. And then what do we use this token? Oh, wait, never mind. So create this, then we connect, and then it comes back here
and display.
and we get that code and send it to get the seller ID, which is what we need for the rest of the steps.
Mhm.
Whew, we did it. That's gonna work. All right, so I'm gonna preview this page again and I'll just create it over again. If it yells at me, then yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, and we're gonna go to here. I should refresh that. It didn't save my seller ID. Came back to the page. And when it came back to the page, we have this key. And then I said do when this is not empty. I'm going to try it one more time. Okay, that's not empty. Now let's go. This is the part that we want, and it's still not saving the seller ID like yours was saving. You did it on page
did,
load, and I'm
yeah.
doing it when do when get code is not empty. So let me switch this by on page load. It's loaded. Get code. Make changes. Okay. So let's try it again. Oops. Helps if you can spell your own name. Still not saving. I must be doing something wrong. Can I see your screen again?
Sure. Okay, so for the workflow, I have when page is loaded and get.
Is not empty.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that shouldn't matter though. I just
Yeah, it
didn't
should-
want it to show up at every time the page was loaded.
yeah.
That's right.
Show Stripe Connect success. What's that do?
this is a
That's just an
couple-
alert. Okay.
Yeah.
Complete Express standard account connection. And click that again. And you're getting the code from page URL. Click on that. Code text. So that's what I have. And then go to the button connect is clicked. Create ID number token. Maybe that's, let me see if that's what I have. And then show me what's in that first step.
Right
Yep,
here.
that's what I have. And then connect express standard account.
Oh, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I just left it blank. That shouldn't though, because
Yeah, I have mine filled out, but I'm definitely getting that code back in the URL. So it should still be working to give me a seller ID. But for some reason it's not.
that's I don't know. 'Cause it's working there. I don't even know. Let me check my data and see if it's even saving in the database.
It has to be saving because
Yeah.
you're.
Seller ID.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
well, that's definitely a seller ID. I wonder if it's because I keep using the same credentials, but it's not throwing an error or telling me that anything is wrong. So I don't think that's the problem, but. Okay, well, I was just trying to recreate what you've already done.
Yeah.
the point being that I was gonna do like some
Okay.
payment stuff, right?
Right.
Because you
'Cause I-
have to so you have to register the seller, but then you also have to save a credit card, like register a customer with a credit card.
Right. I
Right.
haven't done that yet either.
Okay, so let's try that
Nice.
part.
Okay.
And then were you planning on using the regular Stripe plugin for that, or were you going to use Zero Code's plugin for that?
Whichever works. Like, so if I use both two separate ones, does it matter?
Nope.
Like, okay, well,
Doesn't matter. So I often combine like API calls to Stripe with the regular Stripe bubble plugin.
okay.
So I'll just make a different button here and call it register as customer. And then what we want to do here is we go to payment and we want to collect the user's credit card information. That's all we have to do. And so I'll preview. And then pretty sure that I'm already signed up here. So this works because I already have the keys on there. Okay, so now I'm registered as a customer. Awesome. So what that means is if I put on this page, I can do current users, Stripe credit card, last 4 digits, which should be 424242. And if I refresh this, yeah, 4242. So that's saved in there.
And so I can make like a pre-filled kind of like space so all that information can just be saved in the app, correct?
Well, see, that's the beauty of using the Stripe bubble plugin is that I don't actually have to tell it to save. It saves it. It's not even saved in a field that I have control over.
Okay.
So I like using it. In that way, it seems easier to me. So now what we need to do is we need to marry these two things, right? So we need to have another button here. And so when that happens, we're going to do a charge. Let's try it with the regular bubble plugin where we would charge a user using a saved credit card.
Okay. I think the only reason why I wanted to use the express one because I'm going to take a percentage and I don't think you can do that with the regular one.
Oh yeah, you can. I'll show you.
Can?
Yeah,
well,
let me show you.
Somebody told me something different.
Oh yeah, no, the regular Stripe bubble plugin just does standard connect. What you can't do with it is you can't hold back the payment from the seller.
Okay. And
so
as well. So
but here's the thing is I don't know if it will work using this. I'm just trying it out. If it doesn't, then we can go into the plugins here and we can make a like Stripe Marketplace, capture a charge or make a charge or charge a card, something like that. We'll have to figure out which one it is.
Customer. One of those.
Yeah, probably this one. So the Stripe account, currency source, app fee, capture now, all of these things. But the express account that you go into here in Stripe. So I'm for the United States and I only do transfers, so which let accounts receive funds from my business. So that's all good. And then trying to remember, we did like a separate call where we set it up specifically for the accounts to be set to manual payouts, which in the United States only allows you to keep the money from being withdrawn from the Connect account for up to 2 years. Other countries, if it allows for it, will only allow you to keep the funds from being distributed to the seller for up to 90 days. And you trying to remember if you can. So provide your payment. I was hoping there was a way that you could just flip it on. So when you create the Express account, it's already going to be set for just the United States and just for transfers based on these settings here. Someone once said that you could set it up so that it would automatically set the Connect account to be manual payouts, but I don't see that anywhere here. So I know there's a call for it. Once we figure that part out, we should be able to use this and the and it will automatically do what we want it to do, right? Even though this is the regular Bubble Stripe plugin. So amount we'll just set to 100. Descriptions we'll leave blank for now. This will be current users, Stripe credit cards, ID. The pay will be another user. The pay in this case is going to be the current user, right? The app fee, you could still say the same thing. Like you could say $5 for the app fee or whatever you like. However you want to set that up.
Right. Can you do a percentage in there or no?
Can you do, no, so I think this has to be a number, so
Okay.
you'd have to calculate it on your own.
Okay.
So TransPay current user, and then I don't know if I can put the seller ID in here. No, they're just looking for the current user, so maybe we can't use this if it with Express. But with Express, we wouldn't have to actually, because we could collect the money and then we could distribute it later.
Right.
From the platform, right? So we can charge the card and just see if it shows up. So let's preview. I already have a card on file, so I'll buy. Oh, I know what happened. I need to take this out. Okay, so if I go into my regular platform, just my home here, I've charged $200 because I clicked it twice, right? So 200. So I can go and I can look at my customers and I see this is my customer here. And I have two $100 things successful here. So now I should be able to, using the other plugin, just do pay out. $50. currency is USD. That should be fine. Destination would be current users Stripe seller ID. Source trans would be okay. I just want to transfer it from my platform to the current user Stripe seller ID, which I'm having a trouble generating. So let me see if I can get it from here. So connect. Yeah, it's not showing any successful connected accounts, which is weird because I created several of them. But you could grab that. So you could try this in your app. Let's see if it works in your app. So creating a transfer and then sending it to the current user's Stripe seller ID.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing if you want to share.
Flow. Oh, I need a button. Sorry. So just for purposes here. Am I doing buy or pay? I guess it doesn't. Oh, it would be payout, right?
Yep, payout.
And that one was transfer.
Create a transfer. Yeah. And you can just choose whatever there and then the destination.
Right. Would it be the seller? No.
Yep, seller ID.
Okay.
Yep. And then the thing you have to do is you have to actually charge somebody some money right now.
Oh, gotcha.
So
That's cool, but I don't know what I'm doing. So do I need another button for buy, right?
yep.
And,
But you probably also need to save a credit card on file
oh,
for someone. And you can use either Zero Code's plugin for that or the regular Stripe.
okay.
plugin for
So
that.
how do I?
Yeah, a button. This would be register buyer or add credit card
Credit card.
details.
Okay, and that would be payment. Well, payment would be the regular Stripe, right?
Yep, and you can use that one to collect the credit card details if you want to.
Okay.
And that's all you need to do.
Okay.
And then after you run that user and you get their credit card info, then you could do the buy button.
Okay. And that would be to charge
Yep.
the user.
So charge them 50 or 100, whatever you want.
Okay.
And then card ID is the current user's Stripe credit card ID. It's the credit card ID that you're looking for.
You said I'm looking for the credit card ID or the Stripe credit.
Yeah, Stripe credit cards ID.
Okay. Okay. It was two different Stripe credit cards. That's why it was confusing.
Yeah, one is if you keep multiple cards on file.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Versus one.
Okay. All right. So now the buy should work. And what else did I have? Did I do this one already? I think so. Yes.
Yep. So now for the buy button.
Oh, well done.
Charge the user. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
So
I think you're good. So go ahead and
let's run
preview it as someone.
Okay, it didn't say. Why is
So
it
I think
wrong?
the one that you have, well, you don't need the Stripe code more than once. You only need the first time.
Okay,
Because it's the Stripe code that lets you get the Stripe
I
account ID
Okay.
there. The thing is you have it set to standard, but that's okay because you're not going that direction. So let's just try it. So add card first. By the way, there are multiple different types of, you need another set of 4-2s.
Oh.
There are multiple types of practice cards that Stripe makes available that do different things. So if you're trying to test what would happen if somebody's card is declined, or if you don't want the funds to become available immediately, you can make that happen. Just search Stripe test cards on Google and it should show you the right site. So go to buy. All right. And now,
Do you want to try to pay out?
and now try the payout, but click OK first. Yeah.
Error.
Okay, so let's just enter USD.
Payout. Where is my- Okay.
Error.
That. one
Oh,
might be-
insufficient funds. So we didn't check to make sure that the funds showed up in your
Oh.
account.
Okay. I don't. How do
So
you
just go to home.
Okay.
So the funds did hit your account. Got it. It looks like it's expecting to pay it out to you. Yeah, so we still have some work to do.
Why does it say September 20? Oh, because it's not being.
Yeah, it's so this is test data, and then the first payout that you would get, it takes about 7 days
Okay.
for it to show up into your account the first time, and then it gets faster as they know you and trust you more.
Okay.
So
Well, it's sort of kind of working.
yeah, so we've got to figure out how to make it work so that you can transfer funds. It's saying insufficient funds, but you definitely have funds in your account. So you should be able to make that transfer.
So if I wanted the business owner to be able to pay, but then I don't want the funds to directly go to the freelancer. So I would have to hold the funds, correct? So then I would still be doing
Yeah,
a payout.
there are two ways to do it. Well, I mean, there are multiple ways to do it. So you could like join the Discord for Stripe developers and ask. I think Stripe actually pays some of their developers to hang out in that Discord. So you could ask them, and then basically there's different ways to do it, but you could have it so that the funds do automatically go into the Connect account, and then they just sit there for up to 2 years since you're in the United States. You could have them sit there and waiting for you to say, go ahead and pay this out. Or you could have the funds moved to your platform account and then pay it out from your platform account. But the one thing I've never actually thought about is how you can make it so that your funds stay in your account, in the platform account, to be paid out. So maybe you'll have to go with you might want to check with the Stripe developers and see what they recommend.
Okay.
Since you're in the US, I think you're fine to just have it go straight into their account. So that would be using the zero code plugin
Right.
to move the money into the Express account. The other thing we need to do, I don't know if zero code does it automatically. And I meant to grab these API calls and bring them into a place where I can show you. There's a call that you have to do to set it to be a manual payout. So, and that's how you keep the money from being directly deposited into the Connect account after the charge goes all the way through and makes the funds available.
Okay.
But are you starting to understand
Yeah.
like the mechanisms that are at play? Like
Mhm.
how the two different systems are going to be communicating with each other?
Right. There's also another aspect that I would need the Stripe for, like when business owners are paying like the fee for the app.
For
So,
the app, right?
yeah.
So then they would need to set up a payment method, just like your regular customers would. So they'd have to add a card.
Right. Okay. And I don't want to take up the whole time, but I kind of set something up here. This is like them deciding what type of member they would want to be.
Mhm.
And I have it, and I don't know if any of this is right. Like I'm just, so when that button is clicked, and I use radio buttons, so only when they have chosen that particular monthly option,
Mhm.
this is what I have set up. I think this is with regular Stripe. I didn't
Oh,
use
like the regular Stripe
Yeah.
subscriptions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I need to find somebody who's really well versed in that to come in and talk about it. I made my own subscriptions. I didn't use Stripe's subscriptions instead. But basically, yeah, that's the right idea. Although I would put a pop-up in between
Mm,
so that they can confirm that that's what they want to do.
right. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great idea. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Very cool. All right. Calum, Thomas, neither of you brought anything for me today, but what's going on in your lives?
Not much. Traveling along, went on holiday, got horribly bitten by a load of flies. Yeah, that's about it. That's my life.
Oh, the flies did that to you?
Well, I don't know, like not flies, like gnats or whatever. I think we slept the bedroom open once. I woke up and I had like a load of like bites, a load of my forehead.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Everyone thinks I've been punched. But...
Wheel. Not much going on here either. Just lots of projects that I'm working on. I have to do that scope for that back endless one.
Still? You haven't gotten on it?
Oh, thanks, Thomas. That was nice.
I'm sorry. You know me.
Well, how Tonya yet? Haven't had to do it yet?
Haven't done it yet. Oh, gee.
Sorry, it just went client
Not
mode.
much else on.
No, that was funny. Yeah, so I'm supposed to get the diagram, the back endless diagram of the database structure, which is going to heavily inform that scope. And then I was also supposed to get a high level like estimate and breakdown of what needs to happen. And I didn't get that. So I I guess I'm supposed to do it by being psychic. So
Can I just do one of my little bubble gripes? And I don't know if anyone else has noticed this about bubble. The center vertically option does not center the text vertically. You click on that, that is not vertical.
Go to the, so go,
I know how you make it vertical. You can just do the padding and make it vertical that way. But that, like, ever since I started using Bubble,
But
that
it's
is
not-
not.
but it's not even that, just scroll up a little.
What do you mean?
No, in your element editor, no, well, not all the way, just a little. So there's something else, line spacing. It's the line spacing. You can manually set that to 0.
Oh yeah, no, that's way better.
Yeah.
No, it's just weird. I know why it is, because the top line is centered vertically, but you would assume it would just center all the text that's there vertically. But just my little bubble, you can do that.
Your bubble rant for the day.
Got to do it. Can't sleep
Yep.
without running to the bubble at least once in a day.
Oh, Calum, you weren't here when I was announcing it. Cameron Wilder Booth is going to be here on Friday talking about API stuff. So if you still have any of your API questions, he might be a good one to ask.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm still trying to find I don't know, has anyone found a drop shipping company that works with Bubble? Because all of them, I can't find, like, you'd think they'd all just have like an open API that you'd be able to ping and do all the like ordering and stuff. I can't find any of them. Like, most of them require you to be doing it through Amazon or Facebook or something like that. I can't find any with that just like open API to bring in the list of products and then set everything up through the API.
Huh. No,
What do you-
I haven't encountered that. Go ahead,
When you say-
Thomas.
When you say drop shipping, you're talking about like someone in China would take an order and then boom, like an item would be shipped out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be in China, but yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Reference, yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't seen anything either that like works with like physical products, Bubble related.
I mean, I don't know if it's because there's so many like shop builders out there that no one's got around to it, but I'm just surprised there's no there's no plugin that works directly with Bubble. Like, you'd have thought there'd be like a Shopify plugin or a, I don't know, one of the Best Buy plugins, something, but there's no plugins that work with it, which is just a bit weird.
So that's a challenge. Let's drop shipping API.
Should be a few Shopify, yeah.
Rebuild.
I think the Shopify one that it comes up, but you can't use Shopify because it only works on their built Shopify sites. Again, yeah, same with Overload, because that's, I think, owned by Shopify.
Integrate with more vendors, list more products, and manage more orders. No code. They're using our language.
Ooh, that would be good. No-code integration builder. Yeah, I might have a look at that one.
Yeah. But, if anybody's watching this and you have any suggestions, you can comment on the live video or on the replay, and we will get the information back to Calum. No problem. It's got to exist. You're right. It doesn't make sense if it doesn't exist.
Yeah. I'm just surprised no one built a. You'd have thought like one of the dropshipping companies would have just built a plugin for Bubble by now, right? That you could just drop it in, choose the products on their website, and display it all in Bubble. But yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Oh, Kim said she can ask her fiance since she works for Shopify. You can ask. We won't stop you.
Oh yeah.
I'll
So
let you guys know.
That one you just showed me, the Flex Mine starter plan, $499 a month.
How much?
$499 a month.
Yeah, you got to be pretty
Right.
serious to get started.
Yeah, and that's 5 vendor limits. Each order they charge you 40 pence on top, and you can only have 3 users. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sorry, so I have found a few with APIs, but they've all been like that, where they're ridiculously expensive just to even get started.
Got it. So the challenge isn't finding one. The challenge is finding one that is less expensive.
Yeah, the only thing I can think is that they don't want, like, companies don't want to give out their API for free, because then you'll have thousands of people pinging their API, which will cost them money. But if they're a load of sites that never get used, then they're basically giving away money or losing money for sites that aren't actually selling anything.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I would worry about that too if I were them.
Indeed.
Well, I don't want to end early, but I might.
Quick question.
Yes.
Were you able to figure out the connect for Stripe plugin for the project we're working on?
No, I haven't solved that. Although, yeah, I haven't solved for that just yet.
Just curious.
No, it's fine. I need to borrow the keys from an existing app that I work on. I just haven't yet. But and then the Stripe API, like as lots of things do, got updated not that long ago. So I might have to do some suffering on that front.
I feel you.
Yeah, it is. I remember being in tears with the Stripe plugin earlier this year. Was not a happy time.
Throwing hands with Stripe plugin.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's when I found that so if you go into the help section of Stripe, go into the help articles and scroll down to the bottom, they used to have a different chat platform, but now they're using Discord, which is probably a lot nicer. So I've been meaning to sign up for this actually and go on there and just watch the answers, because they have Stripe developers that they pay to actually staff the chat. At least they did when it was the other platform. So I assume they still do. And when you go on here, you click here, it tells you they have 867 people online right now. Over 10,000 members to this Stripe developer community. So you can ask your questions and get real answers from real Stripe developers, which I found to be by far the most helpful. Out of all of the resources that I found during that very, very painful time that I don't like to remember. Post-traumatic stress disorder around that. I think it's funny how when I was looking for help with this stuff, it was very, very hard to come by. Even Eli, we spent a couple hours together working on it and still didn't manage to get the right calls working. So I wasted a few weeks waiting for this this milestone to be crossed, and then found out that it was wrong. Oh well, it happens.
So do they not have a helpline or anything like that, or do you have to go through the Discord community then?
So I did try going through their regular chat, and I was actually so frustrated as I was chatting with someone in there. Doing the if you go to get in touch, help articles, and they say up here you can contact support. and you can just chat with them. And I was chatting with one of these agents here, and I was super frustrated. And I often will just scroll up and down a page, just like I'm pacing the room or something. And I was just doing that. And then I happened to see talk with real Stripe developers. And I was like, what is that? And I clicked it, and my whole life changed over the course of a couple minutes. So yeah,
Nice.
that's how I found that.
What else have I missed? Anything fun?
Let's see, what have we been up to? We had an episode that we had to take down because Jordan Cameron accidentally shared some sensitive information, so we just pulled it off. And so Kim is learning how to edit videos, or she's about to start learning that, so she can edit that one and any other videos where we might share sensitive information before we put it on to YouTube.
I have good news actually. We don't have to buy anything because on YouTube you can actually put it on a blur.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it's you can just do it and save it and don't gotta pay for anything.
Cool. Yeah, but we need to start giving the warnings, like make sure when you're coming on that you don't share sensitive information. Yeah. So that happened. But outside of that, I think that was like the most dramatic thing that happened while you were gone, because you were gone.
Sounds like you've been having fun.
Not really. We missed you.
Can't say that. No, this is boring.
You make office hours a lot more fun, Calum. No,
Okay.
I mean, we've been productive. I'm not saying that it hasn't been worthwhile. I'm just saying it wasn't,
It's been dull without you, Calum.
it's been dull. No. I'm encouraging you to come back. Can you tell? No. Thomas and I held it down, didn't we, Thomas?
We're out here.
Yeah, we've been fine. But yeah, we started building an app together. Thomas and I did.
Nice. What is it?
It is there's an organization here in Tucson that it's called Produce on Wheels Without Waste. And our idea is to come up with a food delivery app specifically for that organization that helps people volunteer and or get paid to deliver food to people who can't make it to the market. So Produce on Wheels Without Waste rescues like millions and millions of pounds of produce every year and puts it up for sale at $10 for 70 pounds of produce. And but the people who need that the most are also the people who have the most trouble traveling around town. So we were thinking a DoorDash / Uber Eats kind of solution to help people donate their time and transportation could take orders of 70 pounds of produce to people who need it. So
sounds very fun.
Yeah. So we've been thinking through that and starting to work through that. And that was what Thomas was referencing when he was asking if I ever figured out the connect payments on that. And I haven't just yet, but I will.
Nice.
Yeah.
Goes well, I might let you integrate with One Life.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, order your produce for Tucson from One Life. It would be cool to help other cities or other places do the same thing.
Yeah, I had gone to I had presented I just kind of boldly went up in front of a mic. They had asked people if they had any ideas. And one of the ideas that I pitched was, there's a lot of these restaurants, I see them throwing food away. Literally once, the restaurants close. It'd be really cool to find a way to funnel that food into the people that needed it. And I had some people join me, but I didn't I didn't have the conviction, so obviously the team fell out. And we also found, after a little bit of study, we found that there was a few people doing that. But it would be cool to try this out. I'd definitely go and pitch this to some organizations here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the tricky part is that, like, with the restaurants and stuff, is everyone there's a lot of regulation around food.
Yeah.
So
There's a new business now. There's an app that they actually, these restaurants can actually put that food up that's like pretty much, wasn't sold, and they sell it at a fraction of the cost. I don't know how big the fraction is, but and I don't know how successful the app is, but it came out not too long ago.
I think they've just introduced a law. I don't know, somewhere in Europe, they've just introduced a law to mandate that any any grocery chain, if stuff's going out of date, they have to give it to like people who need. They have to offer it to. I don't know if they have to offer it to a charity or if they just have to in some way make it open to people who need the food and can't afford it. But they've definitely, I think it's Holland or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the worst with regulations. Law,
Yep.
I'm like, nope, not for me.
well, if you're gonna let regulations stop you,
Right.
life starts to
That's
become pretty pointless.
France, February 2016. Oh, so not recently. February 2016, France adopted a law on fighting food waste that meant supermarkets were forbidden to destroy unsold food products, and they're compelled to donate it instead.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They made it illegal to throw food away. Is that what you're saying?
As a grocery store.
A grocery store. Okay.
Yeah, so basically you have to offer it for free afterwards, or give it.
Well,
to a
are
charity.
they required to like stop selling it at a certain point?
Yes. So if it will go if it will go off the next day, they have to give it away the night before, I guess.
Quality check, I guess, would be like a 24-hour period, maybe.
Yeah, or something like that. But to saying that, most of the stuff that goes out, most of the stuff they take down from the shelves in supermarkets isn't stuff that's gone off. It's stuff that's past its best before date, because they don't sell stuff after its best before date. But the best before date is usually like a month before the use by date. So there's actually like a month for most products between when it's best to consume it versus when it actually has to be eaten by.
Well, doesn't that save them money though?
What do you mean?
Well, here it costs money to like dump stuff, right? So like one of the reasons why the lady who runs Powwow here in Tucson, like one of the reasons she was able to get started was because the farmers were happy to give the food, because then they didn't have to pay to dump the food in the dump.
Could potentially, I'm not sure. I haven't read that much into it, but I know it's something that people are trying to cut down on waste and stuff like that. So it sounds like a good idea.
That's cool. There are all kinds of things we can do with Bubble to help people.
That's what I'm trying to be about. Junto lifestyle. Be useful. The problem is that finding solutions are hard.
Usually it happens in it's like an inspirational way, right?
I feel like it
just comes to you.
It's just like, it's like you see something, it's just effortless, it seems like. Yeah. I've never spawned a brilliant idea, so I wouldn't know.
Wait, did you say what?
What did you say? I've never spawned a brilliant idea.
You've never spawned a brilliant idea? Yes, you did. You joined CoCreative NoCode.
Oh yeah, that was well, you know what I mean. An original. You spawned the original idea, actually.
Yeah, but you had the idea to join.
I had the idea of like, let me just keep showing my face.
That was a sneaky plug. So if you would like to join us on CoCreative NoCode's office hours, go to CoCreativeNoCode.com today.
smash that follow button and subscribe, and make sure you enter my free giveaway.
Somebody's asking me if I have plans for November 9th.
November 9th.
November 9th.
Is that someone who's forgotten when firework night is?
Wait, I missed that, Calum. You broke
I said,
up.
is that for someone who's forgotten when firework night is?
I don't know what you're saying. It's like you're speaking a foreign language. What?
I am English.
It's foreign language. It's true.
No, what I heard Calum say was, is she missing firework night? That's what I heard. I don't
Fireworks
know.
night. That's kind of what I heard tonight. Is that someone like, no, it's an
That's what I said.
advertisement.
I said, is that someone who's forgotten what night firework night is?
Still didn't get it. I'm sorry.
We have,
I
it's
love
okay.
CoCreative NoCode.
There we go. That I can understand. That's a language I understand.
Easy to Google.
No, it was just an advertisement for ClickUp. So I use ClickUp on the daily. It is not my favorite.
Pick up. Yeah, I heard you hating a little bit.
I mean, there's so many different project management tools out there. And a lot of them, like, a lot of them are okay, but like they always seem to like miss something, or they make a decision like to go one way when they could have gone another.
Sure.
So my favorite one is Airtable. I love Airtable.
Probably where there's so many different solutions.
Yeah. But Airtable's not meant necessarily, like you can adapt it to be project management, but it's not necessarily, it wasn't built that way.
Seems like you like it because it's very tree diagram like. It trickles down.
Airtable, you mean?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Workflowy?
Yeah, I'm talking about workflow. Yeah, that's right. I forget.
Yeah, I love Workflowy, but I wouldn't. I mean, technically, I've seen implementations of Workflowy that could be project management as well. But for me, it's more like it's my everything notepad. Like
Airtable, huh?
Airtable, that's Workflow he was talking about. Airtable is more like, it's like Google Sheets on steroids. So you can use like,
love to share like a template, the way you structure things, because that'd be useful to know in general.
sure. Let's see here. Let me see if I have a.
Because at least when I'm working with my own little projects, I manage all the functions and the priorities like in a Trello board. And I usually I keep it simple. I have a source box, then I have things to build, doing, and done, and then an archive.
So this would be my template. So I have my tasks, I have my meetings, I have the products that I was managing, I have
Sharing the
goals.
screen.
Oh no, sorry, I should be. Thank you, Calum.
No worries.
Yeah, so I have my tasks, and my tasks have a status and category, and keeping track of the next meeting that's related to the task, estimation of minutes to get it done, notes, any relevant links or attachments, notes for like what's the next action, putting due dates on it. Then this is just keeping track of which product the task is related to, the function that the task is related to, and who's assigned to it. And then you have meetings. This is the list of products. These are the lists of the goals. Keeping track of all of the tasks that were completed. Well, come on, Airtable, wasn't that many. So finish meetings.
I get what you mean by Google Sheets on steroids.
Yeah. So then keeping like references that I want to keep. So something that it's not a task, but I need to remember it for the future.
Get
Then
the nails done.
Get those nails done. Tofu. So yeah, that's my This is old.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
I like how you have a variety of priorities tabbed. That's good.
Yeah. And then I've got this is what I do.
Mental.
This is what I do. This is my mental checklist. It's too long to be mental anymore. So this is kind of like, I don't know, it's maybe like it's a weird implementation of David Allen's Getting Things Done. Because what this is this is just all of the products that I manage at AirDev. So let's see here. So these are all of my projects that I'm managing. And then we've got, so every day, like I try to go through and see if I need to do anything on these specifically. Right. And I'm just picking out like, what's the thing I have to get done today for this one?
Yeah.
Right. Because I find that I mostly remember like I remember the most important things. Right. And if I get those done, then everyone pretty much stays happy. So
Yeah, I was just recently asked a question like that. And it's just like, how do you prioritize most important things to do? And I think there's a level of know-how internally. Part of it is like, when things have to be done in regards to timeline.
mm-hmm.
But in regards to priority, I feel like some of it is just intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Some things can be intuitive, is what I mean.
I mean, ultimately for me, I think the thing that keeps everybody happiest is making sure that I'm doing billable things that turn into money for everyone else.
Yep.
Right. So mostly my mental checklist is about making sure
You are
scoping, making sure that I'm focused on scoping, because scoping is what turns into money in terms of the things that I do.
What's a good, I was thinking about in regards to practicing database structuring, because it's obviously not my strong suit. Do you have any ideas on like how to practice that sort of thing? I guess maybe just take an idea and just flesh it out.
Yeah. So the way I think about it is, so you can, when I'm listening to a client kind of tell me what they have in mind for an app, I'm listening for like who the users are,
Sure.
and what kind of information are they managing with the app? Because the app is essentially a database with functionality built on top of the database, right? So you have to know what the intention is of those users, what information they're bringing to the table, where you're getting the other information, and how, thank you, and how all of that is going to like work together in the app to produce the results that you're looking for. So like when we talk about different kinds of apps, like a business automation app, right? So someone is generating, like a user is generating information as in, or a customer is information. And sometimes the customers are users and sometimes they're not. And someone in that organization has to manage the information, right? And usually there's a level of automation that you want to introduce in the app so that things happen faster and get tracked better. Whereas like a marketplace app is usually it's not just your market, right? Usually you're bringing together sellers with buyers, and both are users, and the sellers are introducing a certain amount of information about products and services. So I have to think through like what kind of information about this product is necessary in order to track everything we need to track, or the service. And then how am I going to show that on the page? And then how am I going to relate this back to the seller so that I can make that connection? How am I going to make the product relate to an order for that product, or maybe a shopping cart, so that I can do the searches correctly and quickly, right? Because that's another thing that I'm focused on, is I want to make my searches in my app as quick and effective as possible, right? So, but yeah, that's like an example would be IT planning. Is a project that I've worked on. One of the best compliments I've ever received was my client. He said he took the scope that I did and someone was asking him, what are you building again? And he was like, here, let me just show you this document. And it was, I don't know, a 30 or 40 page scope. And they shared it with his friend and his friend's like, this is amazing. Like, because it was very, very detailed. But the first place I started before I did anything else was I said, okay, what's my database structure going to look like? So the user, I need to know name, all of that information. But mostly I need to know which company, right? So I'm going to have a company. The company, I need name, logo, stakeholders, which is users, a list of users. I need industries that they're in. I need, what else? Locations that they have, right? So this is the company profile thing in the database. And then I'm like, okay, well, next, what do I need? Well, I've got these templates of categories, questions, and answers that I need to keep track of. Well, what's all of that information? So I just keep going. I treat it hierarchically because that's the way that I think about it. Some people do better putting the same thing like in, you could do it in a new Airtable, because Airtable is very similar to the Bubble database. The biggest difference between Airtable and what you're getting in the data tables in Bubble is fancier formatting, and then they have some different types. So like they have a difference between a single line text and a long text, whereas Bubble just has text. Attachment would be the same thing as setting a type file. Checkbox is a yes or no, right? That's a Boolean type. Multiple select would be a list of references, in this case, text that you would put in there. Single select would be just, you could select multiple with multiple select, but with single, you still have the same list, but you can only select one. This would be like setting another user on it. Date, phone number, as opposed to formatting the input for a phone number, which would just be a number field. They have a special one for phone number. Email, the same. But the biggest ones I think that are different is like, is the formula field and the roll-up field. Because the formula field, you can actually put in an expression that ties other fields together and spits out the answer. You can't do that in Bubble. In Bubble, you would have to create the formula in a workflow and store the answer on the thing, right? Or you would have to have Bubble doing a lot of different calculations on the page. Then the roll-up is like the same sort of thing. It's like a special kind of formula where you're taking and you're rolling up a bunch of answers from a different page, like a different table, and then storing it in one field on a specific table. So, but you could build out your database structure and get it working in Airtable and then transfer it over to Bubble if it would help you understand the connections better. A lot of people will use Google Sheets for the same thing.
Yeah, previously, at least with my little projects, I use Google Docs and I just have everything cascade, kind of like in a tree diagram manner. Not tree diagram, but like, tabbing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially how I use Workflowy. The difference is with Workflowy, if I do this, it folds it all up, so it makes it easier. And if I double click, then it'll close everything. And if I double click it'll open everything. So it just makes managing bullet points a little easier.
Sweet.
Yep.
I think it's one of those things that you just have to keep doing, and then eventually you start seeing the nuances. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of practice. I have had years of practice in Airtable before I ever encountered Bubble. So by the time I got to Bubble, the Bubble database structure kind of felt natural to me.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's probably helped you out a lot too, because that's
A
not
lot.
something that is very strong. I'm very strong at, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Keeping track of connections.
Practically.
Yep. Hey, Calum, did you learn English yet?
Oh, damn.
What?
Says the American to the Brit.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Am
What?
I starting a war?
Uh-oh.
No. But we already won that one, didn't we?
He's fixing his collar right
Oh, you got rid of us. Is that how you think of it?
now.
Yeah, we didn't really want America anyway. We came over, we burned down your White House, and then we pissed off again.
What were you saying, Thomas?
He was fixing his collar after you said that.
It's like, ready?
Just adjusting my top hat. Sorry.
Collar on your uniform.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up office hours for today because I have a meeting that starts right at noon. But we will be back tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific time for another episode of Office Hours. If you would like to join us for your complimentary session, please go ahead and comment on either the live video here, or you could comment on YouTube on the replay, or you can send us a note to team@CoCreativeNoCode.com and we'll get back to you with credentials. You might especially want to save the date for Friday, September 17th, when Cameron Wilder Booth will be joining us to teach us all about the API connector. And one of the main reasons I chose Cameron was because 6 months ago, he didn't know how to use the API connector. So what he's bringing to us on Friday is a lot of knowledge and experience gained very recently. So he hasn't lost that beginner's mind yet. To be able to share with us how we can think about APIs and the API connector and get our APIs working. So please do join us for that on Friday, September 17th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you so much, Thomas and Brittany and Calum and Kim, for being here today. It's been great to see all of you. And actually, Calum, Brittany had also been on break for a little bit. So glad to see you both today.
Same here. Glad to see you all.
Yep, and see you again soon.
All
Take care,
right.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.